Good evening. I'm here in the native plant sanctuary. I've got my loppers and I've been cutting down some bush honeysuckles. Some burning bushes, sorry. Anyway, I thought I'd give you a full tour of everything that I'm trying to do here. So, this forest is rich with ferns, blackberries, quite a few things I'm not knowledgeable about. But I do recognize invasive plants that weren't not native to this area. It's a poplar forest. There's tulip poplars everywhere. Down that side is more sparsely, but down by the water, there's a natural spring. And as you can see, there's one massive dead poplar. And then on the other side, there's the almost 20-foot circumference poplar that I measured earlier today. And it's approximately 2.5 acres of pretty old growth forest. It's not necessarily the most ancient, but it does not appear to have been logged in a very long time. And my goal is to preserve it so that it will not be developed or torn down. This is another poplar tree. There's some oaks. That's an oak right there. None of them are quite as big. This is a poplar and a poplar. And there's a lot of native plants, but there's also this multiflora rose which has taken over. That's what most of that is. There's kudzu, which is certainly not a native plant. I can hardly call it, it's kind of a joke to call it a native plant sanctuary. It's on its way to becoming a native plant sanctuary. The goal is to remove the invasives. This is the worst area of kudzu. This whole area is kudzu and multiflora rose. So it's a huge project, pecking away at it as I can. There's English ivy as well, not a massive amount, but a good amount. There's tons of and oriental bittersweet that is gaining ground. I got bursitis in my knee last year. For like 4 months I couldn't come here, at least. And yeah, I haven't been able to work on it like I wanted to. But I'm back at it as best I can be. I have a lot going on, so it's not a full-time project yet. I hope someday it will be. But anyway, there's toadshade everywhere. There's privet everywhere, which is another privet. Actually, privet used to be the chief nemesis in these woods. It kind of is in general my chief nemesis. But I came down here in 2013 and spent almost a year practically just pulling privet. And I was a little neurotic in my counting. I counted over 30,000 plants. And I took out stand after stand. I didn't even know what an invasive plant was until one day I came in here and I was like, what is all this green stuff in the middle of winter? And when I looked it up, it got me onto the world of native versus invasive plants. And I already knew about kudzu, but I just didn't know how many there were, and I didn't know what a burning bush was. And now I have spent so many years cleaning places like this and other people's yards that I have become very familiar with invasives more than even native plants, because it's very hard to have any kind of garden when there are invasive plants, as anybody who has kudzu might know. So, all that to say, the goal here is to remove the invasives. And years ago, I built these massive, huge invasive plant piles, and they're completely broken down now. It was very encouraging because the very first one I built, a little male box turtle, you could tell because he has a red eye, was hiding underneath it. So now I build them just for them. It also helps prevent erosion while other things take over. The other thing was that because there are so many natives, for example, this fern, that when I do remove invasives, the native plants get a foothold, or since they already have a strong, they're kind of like lurking in the shadows all the time. They actually are what came back and not more privet. There are obviously privet seedlings, but it does take a very long time for it to get so out of control as it was. This forest has not been messed with in a very long time. Anyway, there's wild ginger, I believe that is. There's tons of poison ivy here. I'm trying to avoid it. This is I'm trying to think. It's another invasive. I've just drawn a blank. I'm very familiar with it. It's got these awful thorns on it. It'll come to me in a minute. And there's a spring that feeds into here, and there's this beautiful triangle of ferns down here. Let me see if I can find any. I'm walking through the poison ivy. I'm probably gonna get it all over me. There's another fern, but this is mostly all poison ivy. Don't know if I want to go down there, but anyway, that corner over there gets this. I've got to find one. Let me just see. If I've gotten it, I've probably gotten it already. Look at these trees. They're impressive. And they would just break my heart if this ever got developed. I get letters all the time from people who want to. And where is that fern? Where is it? There it is. Is this not the most beautiful fern? I don't even know the name of it, but it was stronger before. I think too many trees have grown up. There's a whole patch over there. Anyway, I thought I would just introduce you to a little bit more of the native plant to be sanctuary. If you can come up with a better name, I'm not in love with the word sanctuary for some reason. Like, I just can't think of any other way to describe what I'm trying to do here, which is to preserve native plants and remove invasive plants. So if you've got any ideas, I'm also trying to name the largest tree in these woods. If you've got any ideas for that, look at all these incredible ferns. Look at that massive root structure. I don't know if you can see it, but that was a tulip poplar that fell. Look at that thing. I don't even know. I should measure it. It's like massive. It's been there for a number of years. I believe it fell in about 2015 or so. I don't remember the exact year, but I do remember it wasn't here, and then it wasn't fallen in 2013 or 11, I believe. Could have been somewhere in there. I'm not sure. And I believe this is I forgot what you call it. Swamp grass or something. It's really cool. And anyway, let me just zoom in on it a little bit. Look at that hole that's developed. It's been sitting there for so long. And my dream would be to teach children about nature down here. It's almost like the closest thing to a native forest. I mean, like, it's not a rainforest, but it has that feeling. Like, I don't know. When I come in here, I feel like I'm in another planet or another world. It's like an oasis. And anyway, look at that tree. And look, this is the tree that I'm trying to name. I feel like it deserves a name because, well, there's a lot of large trees in here, but this one, I believe, tops it all. It's massive. Let me see, yeah, that is the one I measured. I couldn't, because of all the poison ivy, I could not measure the full circumference very well, but I had a 25-foot ruler, or whatever you call it, measuring tape, and I pulled it as tight as I could, and it appeared to be somewhat under 20 feet. So, pretty significant. Anyway, thank you for staying with me this far. Hope you have a good night.